Okay, it says preparing the live stream. I think we are officially live. Okay, welcome everybody back to my comfy couch. I'm your host, Nicole here. And we're gonna get started. We have some awesome guests on the line with us today. Let me just make sure that we're showing on live now. Okay, awesome. Let me make sure I can see the chat here. Okay, awesome. Welcome. Okay, say hi when you guys get in the chat. Welcome. Don't forget to share. Let people know that we're on. We want to have a nice, engaging conversation tonight. So I'm going to have everyone kind of do their intros while we wait for folks to come on the line. Again, say hi when you're with us. All right, so I'm Nicole, Nikki, host of this show, crisis counselor, life coach here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the dating field today, right? We've got a lot going on from both sexes, trying to understand each other. Tonight, the topic is on the role of a stepfather, okay? So as we always discuss, there are a lot of single mothers, single parents in the dating field, especially in the 30s, 40s. So we're trying to figure it out. What's the role of a stepfather that would come into the lives of these children? So Bernard, go ahead, start with you. Give the intro, let them know where they can find you, and then we'll go on to the next.
All right, so you can find me on Facebook, Bernard Carter, or Instagram, bj.carter3. I think it might be 3bj.carter3. I'm not sure. I'm an old school guy, so Facebook is what it is for me. I'm still trying to get used to the Instagram, so one of the two, locate me.
Bernard, tell us, everyone who speaks, let us know if you have any kids, and let us know if you're single or not, okay? So that way it gives people some context, and your age too, if you'd like to let us know. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I know, because it gives people context when they're looking at the episode.
All right,
Nicole.
You don't have to say the age if you don't want.
So no, I'm fine. I'm just messing.
I am a 41-year-old Black African-American male.
Well.
I have 4 beautiful kids from the ages of 18, 14, 13, and 3. Yes, I started all over. 3. He started pre-K. My son started pre-K today. You know what I'm saying? So I started all the way over. And my daughter's in college. Like, what? But okay. But yeah, I am taking, ladies. I'm taking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Bernard. Thank you for joining us, Bernard. Say hi when y'all get in the chat. Welcome to our discussion on the role of a stepfather. We got Bernard on the line. Okay, Adina, Miss Adina, tell me about you.
Hey everybody. I am Adina. I am the mother of four beautiful girls. I don't refer to her as my stepdaughter, but I have a 26-year-old stepdaughter. And I birthed an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. So I feel you, Bernard. And I am 39 years old. Cannot wait to hit 40. Very excited about that.
Wow. Okay.
And I am single-esque. Amen. I have recently found out that I am headed towards my second divorce. So I am single-esque in these Holy Ghost filled streets.
Lord have mercy. Whoa. Woo. All right.
I got one for you.
Lord, Bernard. Welcome to the chat, y'all. Say hi when y'all get in the chat. Adina, thank you for joining us, okay? I appreciate you. Bianca, let us know.
Okay. I guess 4 is the lucky number. So, I'm 42 years old, and I am the mother of 4 people that I gave birth to, but they are 3 adults and a teenager. So no starting over here, none. So
I know that's right. Okay.
Not at all. No, I'm free, very free. But they are 22, 21, 18, and 13. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So no starting over.
None.
All right, now. So everyone's got 4 kids. Dang, y'all make me feel bad. I got 1. And I'm 30.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Nicole. I forgot to add that I'm single.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So we got a good mix here. Tori, tell us about you real quick for us.
Well, I'm going to break the trend. So I have a big fat zero when it comes to children, but I have enough godchildren to make me not want to have any children.
Oh,
Um, I am 42 for about one more week, and I'm as single as I could possibly be.
all right now. So we got a lot of singles on the line. Okay, I'm single too. Ish. Thaddeus,
Yes.
tell me about you, Thaddeus. You're on
We
mute.
can't hear you.
I really need to introduce myself after all this time.
Hey, we have some new folks on the line, okay? Tell
For the
me.
new folks, I'm Thaddeus. I'm 39, no kids, single as a dollar bill, and that the reason will be soon apparent.
Oh, Lord. Jesus. Okay, so thank y'all. And everyone who's on the chat, say hi, okay? When y'all walk in, hey, Charlie, welcome to the discussion. And let us know when you guys are in the chat, okay? So tonight the discussion is about the role of a stepfather, okay? So this is a reaction video, okay? So we posted 2 videos, part 1 and part 2, about the role of a stepfather, okay? We have Bernard and Tori on there, as well as myself. And now we're kind of having some reactions. So those in the chat who has seen it, if you've seen it, let me know right in the chat if you've seen part 1 and 2. Let us know. Hey, Donovan, welcome. Let us know, okay, if you've watched part 1 and 2. Okay, so y'all, so tell me, I'm gonna start with Adina and Bianca because y'all weren't on that episode. What were you guys' sentiments about those videos? What were your overall sentiments? Adina, go first.
I mean, I agreed with most of what I heard. Like, I just, if you're gonna be a stepdad, then be a stepdad. You know what I mean? Like, go for the gusto. You know what I mean? Just get in the air and get your hands dirty. Now, I don't know if you should be putting your hands on people's children, but you know, get in there and deal with it. And then, like, I really enjoyed the episode that had Tori and Bernard, where they were discussing even like the woman, right, and how she speaks to her children, how she treats her children, and I identified so much with that. But I feel like if you're going to be in that role, then be in the role, and if that's not something that you're comfortable with being, then don't be that. Like, ain't nobody holding a gun to your head to make you be somebody's stepdaddy. You don't have to do it. But if you're going to, then try to help those children in the way that you can help them.
Okay, so you're more for a guy, a stepfather, having a more hands-on role, perhaps maybe not so much with the physical discipline, but really being hands-on. Okay, so Bianca, let me know in the chat. Hey, Keela. Hey, T, say hi. You guys in the chat, let us know if you watched part 1 and 2. What are your sentiments? What did you guys think about the role of a stepfather? And let me know in the chat what you guys think is the role of a stepfather. Okay, what do you think he should be doing? What should he be bringing to the table? Bianca, let me know. Tell me, what did you think about part 1 and 2?
I enjoyed them both. I agreed with most of what Tori and Bernard had to say in reference to, you know, being a stepfather and having that experience. I have one unpopular opinion, is that I feel like the role of a stepfather is normally reserved for a husband. So, you know, you should be married to the mother in that case. But I realize there are some cases where you heathen shack up with each other. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But I've been there. So no, I'm joking. But I realize where people do cohabitate without being married, and then, you know, the role changes at that time. You know, there is a level of autonomy a man should have in his own home, right? And but a conversation needs to be had with both parties or all 3 parties in that case, and boundaries need to be set and things like that.
Ooh, so Bianca said, get married, y'all. Stop living in
I'm
sin.
just saying.
Marry stepdaddy. Okay, so, ooh, Bernard, not the bald head. I've never seen you without your head off, Bernard. Oh no, it's gone. It's
No,
all
but
gone.
no, it's sweat. What's going on here?
Hey, ooh, I've been married twice.
Ooh, I said twice. Ooh, Era, welcome. Thank you for joining. Y'all in the chat, let me know. What do you guys think is the role of a stepfather? I'm not seeing any comments yet. Y'all let me know. Okay, so Bianca and Adina agreed with what both Bernard and Tori was saying. Thaddeus, tell me, what were your sentiments about episode 1 and 2? I can't hear you.
You're on
on
mute.
mute. And I already see your face.
Yeah, but
Tell
like,
me.
yeah, I didn't have a very good reaction.
Oh, tell me.
No, that's it. I didn't have a very good reaction.
Thaddeus, what was your issue, Thaddeus? What's your problem?
So I was just going over the whole, and I was listening to you guys go over some of the problems, and I was thinking to myself, man, if I got to do all of that, why would I do that? Like, just why? Like, why? I mean, I don't have
too much work.
I think that if you already have kids, then I think that those issues, because they're balanced on both sides, it would work out good, for you. Because, for instance, you have, for instance, Bernard, he has kids, so I mean, he has a daughter, and and his, the child's mother, she has to deal with moving on to another relationship, and then he has to deal with that other guy, and so that's part of his world, right? So that's part of his reality. It's not part of mine, and that's something that if I don't have to add that level of complexity to a relationship, it's like, why would I?
Okay, so what are you trying to say? You're not going to date like single moms? Like, is that what you're trying to say? Because that's where we at right now. What's the problem?
I'm saying that if I do have a choice, there's like, why would I invite that type of additional stress into my life? Why would I?
So you don't think any of these women are worth it? No single mom is worth that. Are you trying to say?
What I'm saying is that a single mom and a single dad, they make a better, they pair better. They have both the same issues, and they can, they on that level, they can see eye to eye. They have more in common with each other. They're more understanding. That's what I'm saying. Okay,
so you're not dating single moms. You're not showing any of the single moms love. Look, everybody on the chat, y'all. What do you guys think about Thaddeus's comment? Let me say something in the chat. T said, marriage doesn't mean you have to take care of your kids. Ooh, okay. You can take care of your children even if you aren't married. She's just saying,
obviously.
Okay.
Yeah,
obviously.
All right.
I've heard that argument before, but to me, it doesn't make sense. For instance, right? Let's say you have 2 kids, right? I get married to you. Those kids come in my home. It's like I mean, this is my house. Like, I pay all the bills. Like, it makes no sense that I pay all the bills and then I don't have control over the kids who live in my own house. And then you could be like, well, you could tell them not to do, but now suppose they're like, I tell your kid, hey, stop running, go sit down. He's like, bro, go to hell. Like, what am I gonna do? Go in timeout, or I'm gonna wait until your mom gets home. Like, get out of here. I'm not doing that. I'm responsible for your kids, but yet still I don't have the authority over them. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Especially if I don't have to. Like I said, if I had kids, then it would be more understanding, because I would understand, and then I would understand because I have created that, over there, that situation over there already. And so somebody coming with me, I would be more understanding. But if I'm single and I don't have kids, like, what reason would I have to invite that type of additional drama into my life?
Ooh, but does it have to be drama? Bernard is itching. Go. Tell me, Bernard.
It's going to be drama. It's additional. It's an additional headache. Like, I don't care how you spin it. For the fact, I mean, come on, I've dated single moms before. I have. And to me, it was always, the child was never let me not say a good thing. I'm trying to find a good way to say it. It was never a positive, like, okay, well, this is an additional benefit to me somehow. Yeah. It was always if you're going out, you got to find a babysitter, or it's too, and if you already have kids, you're already used to that lifestyle. I don't have kids, so I'm not used to it. For instance, right tonight, I want to go out. I want to be able to say, yo, you want to go out? Let's go have some ice cream right now. I don't want to hear the kids have school tomorrow. That's not part of my life.
Ooh,
well, I can do that now when I have 4 kids.
So
okay, Bernard, go ahead, Bernard. Go, Bernard.
That is, this is from another man coming in, right? So you're saying that you pretty much don't want to date a single female that has kids because of the kids aspect, because she has responsibility, right? So
not responsibility. She has additional
that's a
complications.
responsibility. Regardless of how you spend it, it's a responsibility. You know, them kids ain't going nowhere. Them kids are there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, okay, it's one thing as being as a choice, but it's another thing to look at it as solely as a burden, because that's kind of how you putting it. It's like a kid is a burden.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see the upside. What's the upside for me?
So that kind of puts you as a. Do you think you are husband material? Because when we suit a woman, we want to make sure they're wifey material. We want to make sure they're motherly. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman, I'm pretty sure, ladies, you can chime in. I'm pretty sure a woman would look at a man like, is he fatherly as well as a husband?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
You with kids. Like, I have 23 nieces and nephews. I don't got no issues. I have all of that. My friends call me daddy, like that. Well, not like that. I'm sorry. Daddy, and then my nickname, right? Because I'm so, yeah, because I'm so much of a father to them. Like, I mentor a lot of young men. Like, that's my personality. That's my.
But why not do the same though? Why not do the same with the same female?
What's the benefit to me is what I'm saying. I have two young ladies. One has no kids and one has 2 kids. It's like, this one obviously comes with more complexity. It's like more bills, more, you have to work around the schedule. I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I'm not saying that, but it's like, with the additional baggage that she comes with, it's like, why would I do that if I can just choose somebody who knows?
I think you're looking at
Can I
in
interject?
the wrong perspective automatically. You know what I'm saying? Just because she has kids. Like, you got to go in it.
But he's
like,
a free person.
You got to go in it.
Yeah.
You got to go in it like, hey man, look, this is her. Judge her off of her. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge her just because she got kids.
I'm not saying that she's a bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying she just comes with additional things that it's like
that he don't want.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
why would
that's his preference. That's his preference.
If I had children, it would have been totally different. You know what I'm saying? Because then I would understand it. Like, that's part of my world. But like, why would I want that to be part of my world if I don't have to?
I got one more question.
Okay, we push pause. Bernard, then we're going to take Tori comment. Then I'm going to read some of the comments in the chat. Okay, go ahead, Bernard.
All right. So with that being said, the aspect that you're looking at about with the kids and your perspective already, like, should they just look at you like, man, look, he automatically gonna judge me? He ain't gonna be no good stepdad because he already think I'm coming with baggage. Baggage has a negative term. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Can you see that?
Understand. Tori, tell me, Tori, what you got to say?
Okay, I have a comment to something that Thaddeus said, and then I have a question behind it. So one of his comments was about not having authority over somebody else's kids. And I feel like before you can have any type of authority over somebody's kids, you have to have a level of respect that has been attained from those same children. The question that I have for you, Thaddeus, is, let's say you get married, you have a child, something, Lord forbid, happens to your wife. Now you're a single parent. How would you feel if a woman that you were interested in said that you had baggage and responsibilities that she didn't want to have any part of, but you were really interested in her? Would you feel slighted that she judged you the same way that you're judging single mothers?
Not the least about. She would be perfectly within her right to say that. Perfectly, because I would understand. Like, I understand 100%. She would be perfectly in her right to say that. Like, for instance, there's some women, I know there's some women who, they don't have kids, they're younger, and they don't date men with kids. They plain and simple, they'll say that. I don't date men with kids. They don't want to deal with it. And I understand, I understand that. And if I had a child and she told me, hey, I really like you, but I can't deal with the whole kid thing, totally understand.
Okay. Woo. All right. We got some opinions here in the chat. All right. So man, Terrence Terrence said, oh, I have 6 kids, 3 of my own. Sir, be a man. Ooh, okay. So Terrence, I guess is siding with the others. Okay, Brooke says he just likes to be in complete control. Oh Lord, Thaddeus, you getting ripped up in the chat here.
No, they have not said one thing yet. For instance, whenever somebody says be a man, it's always be something that benefits somebody else. No. I am 100% a man, bro. Trust and believe me. But I am, I am also, I'm gonna look out for numero uno, which is me.
Oh Lord.
Which most men do.
Keela
So
said,
that makes
Keela was agreeing with Tori, and Charlie said, life happens. These kids didn't ask to be here. I've dated women without kids that have been a nightmare. If the woman you date is a good one, her kid or kids shouldn't be an issue. All right now. Woo, okay. So good to hear everybody's side on that. Okay, so again, it is everyone's choice. So thank you for, expressing your views, Thaddeus, and for everyone on the line saying how you felt as well. So I want you guys to tell me, what do you think is the role of a stepfather? I think all the ladies on here have kids. What do you guys think? What do you expect from a man when he comes into your life? What should he be doing? What is his role with the kids? Y'all tell me. And any ladies with kids in the chat, let me know. What do y'all expect of a man who's going to come into your kids' lives? Tell me, ladies.
I kind of happened upon this situation because I had a child when I met my current husband. And so I guess to kind of fast forward through that, we recently just went through him adopting my daughter. So that's the kind of man that I married, right? He is very much so a hands-on father. He, there's no division. And we have 2 children together. He has his oldest daughter. So that's how our family is blended together. But he's very much so a all the time hands-on dad. He took my daughter in as though she was his. And just to like kind of not really go backwards, but to like speak to where Thaddeus is, my husband also told me that if I had more than one child, that he would not have dated me. So I mean, everybody has their preferences, right? And so now, I moving forward in like possibly dating or whatever may be out there for me, I'm definitely going to be looking for somebody that I feel, safe enough with, and somebody that I feel like I can trust my girls to be around. And it'll probably be many, many, many moons before they meet my children. You'll hear me probably talk about them way more than you see them, way more than you see evidence of, just everything. Like, you probably won't be in my house. You probably won't be nowhere near until I can really, really feel you out, to figure out what it is that you want and what you don't want, especially because a lot of people don't like to put their cards on the table up front or whatever the case might be. But there's a lot of criteria, a lot of different things that we're going to have to go through in order to get to the point of even meeting my children. And they have a dad, you know what I mean? Like they have a father. So it's not like I'm looking for a man to step in and be, all of the things, but you have to be able to respect him as their father, right? Mm-hmm. And as a man, and I'm not going to allow you to not do that because he's my children's father, right? And you're not going to come up in here and put your hands on my kids because I don't hit my kids. They daddy don't hit them. You not coming in here and running my house. I don't know what you finna do, but you ain't coming in here with all that. So if you don't know how to keep a calm tone to discipline children or speak to them like they are human beings as they are, then we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Ooh, all right. So Adina's looking for someone that's trustworthy, someone that is going to respect the boundaries of the current father, someone who is not going to put their hands on her children. All right, Adina.
Period.
Okay, who next? Bianca.
I'll go.
Oh, actually, in the chat, Brooke says she just is looking for a positive role model. So I think that's another thing too. Women are looking for someone the kids could look up to as a positive role model. T says, I expect you to be who you are. If I trust you in my life and I have children, I expect you to be a positive influence. So both women speaking to positive influence. Okay, what about you, Bianca? What are you looking for in a stepfather?
Well, my situation is quite different now than how it was when my children were younger, because my children are adults and a teenager now. I don't have as much responsibility with them. And they have always had active fathers. So that's not really, has never really been an issue. My thing is just, it's all in the choice and who I choose. So I need to make sure that I'm getting to know the person and making the right choice of who I'm bringing into our lives. So it starts there. And then secondly, like I said, everybody needs to be able to communicate with each other about what's expected. What I respect Thaddeus's view, because I would rather somebody let me know up front if that is something that they're interested in or would be able to do, than them still being interested in me, still wasting my time and knowing it's not something that they can handle. And then later on down the line, finding that out. So I respect that he expresses his preference up front, and I'm not hating on that. So.
Oh, thank you so much, Bianca. Okay, so you bring up a really good point. First of all, communication is key, as we've been saying in freaking every episode, to talk about things like discipline, like Adina said, and talk about what the role should be of that stepfather. But you brought up a good point in terms of age. So if you are dating and you have older kids versus younger, you know, your expectations might be different. So Bianca, are you expecting them to be as involved, seeing that your kids are older?
So I've kind of been in that situation briefly, just through dating. And what happens in that situation is, if you can find the right person, that's another outlet for your children to be able to express information to them that they might not feel comfortable expressing to you. So having a very positive role model, like the chat said, is definitely important now in this situation. Is it needs to be somebody who's going to set a good example. But as far as, you know, interactions in the house, my children work, they have their own lives. It's, you know, not going to be as frequent. So me and that person would have more time with each other.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna let the guys talk, but before they do, let me know in the chat. Y'all say hi. Tonight we are talking about the role of a stepfather. Let me know, the guys. I want to hear from the guys too. If you're thinking about dating women and you want to date women with kids, tell me, what do you see your role as a stepfather? You guys let me know in the chat, okay? All right. T says, I don't believe in the word step. If we are together and married, then your children are my children. Nothing more, nothing less. Ooh, I agree. I don't like that word either. I don't like the step part, but yeah. Okay, so y'all tell me, Bernard, Tori, you tell me, what do you guys think should be the role? I know you mentioned it in the discussion before, but for those on the line, really quick, Bernard, then Tori, tell me.
All right, so I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it on front. So T is my girlfriend, actually. So, yeah, right. All right. Okay, so the role of a stepfather or a step parent is a helpmate. You know what I'm saying? It's exactly a helpmate. If that child was born without a father, without a mother, whatever the case may be, it's still a helpmate. That parent, that primary parent, still has to relinquish that responsibility to that helpmate. The stepfather, the stepmother, they have to relinquish it. If not, it's going to be nil and void. They're just there, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Because validation is not given. You know, so I really do and truly believe it's the role of a helpmate. I'm not trying to replace. I'm not trying to substitute. I'm there to assist. So I'm there to help.
Okay.
Point blank period.
All right, Bernard. All right, so you're there to help out. You're not there to replace the father. You're there to be a help to the mother and the child. Okay. How about you, Tori? Tell me, what do you think your role should be as a stepfather? Y'all in the chat, let me know. Brooke says you guys are her favorite couple. Bernard and T. How cute. Okay, Tori, tell me, what do you think should be the role?
I agree with what Bernard said. It's like you're, in a way, you're kind of like a gap filler. You're not there to take over. You're there to help. The mother does have to relinquish a certain level of control, but not to the point where she feels like she doesn't have a say so. Like even though you might be the man of the house, she is still the lead voice when it comes to her children. So you help as far as guidance is concerned. If the child needs somebody to talk to, if it's a young man, teach him how to be a man. If it's a young woman, show her what love is like from a male inside of the home, so she doesn't have to look for it in every which way outside of the home. So it's basically filling another parental role to help mold these children into, ideal members of society, the same way you would mold your own if you created and birthed yourself.
Go, boy.
Okay.
You go, boy. Go, boy.
I love it.
What?
Love it. All right. So y'all in the chat, let me know, what do you guys think is the role of a stepfather? Okay. So Thaddeus, so tell me, Thaddeus, if one of your sisters became single and was dating kids, what would you hope your brother-in-law role would be with the kids? Tell me.
I would hope that his role would be nothing different than if it was his biological kids.
Oh, okay now.
So if if you're going to take on that responsibility, then take it on all the way. Don't do a half job. So if you were going to be a good father to your children and you met a woman and you know that she has children, then you should realize that this is going to be your responsibility going forward.
Oh, okay.
All what they said, you be a good provider to them, a role model, protect the women, train up the young men to be young men, all of that. That is your responsibility. Whether their father is in their life or not, they still need to see that example at home.
Okay, I love it. Okay, we can agree. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so y'all tell me now, because we did talk about that little incident. We're gonna talk about people with multiple baby daddies. Okay, so we did speak about that whole incident, because that's a lot of times when you're meeting now, women, may have more than one baby daddy or the father. So the question now is, that whole incident we spoke about with the whole McDonald's, bringing food for one kid versus the others. How do y'all feel about that? Like, what if there are, multiple parents involved in all of this? What do you think your role is in this whole thing? What do you guys think about that?
That annoyed me so badly.
Oh.
Yeah, that was so annoying.
Oh.
Okay, so in that situation, I just feel like don't do one for one of my children. I would rather none of them have it. Okay, we're good over here. Trust me. Everybody can get McDonald's. If you want to come pick your child up and spend time with them, fine. Here they go. But please don't show up at the house with something for just one child. That's ridiculous. Now, if maybe his funds were low or something like that, I understand. So in that situation, just, can I take my child out? Yes.
Oh, okay. So Bianca, you were siding with the mom in terms of he should have brought something for everybody. Okay. How about you, Adina? Were you siding? Oh, what did you think?
I grew up like that. There's only two of us, and my mama broke her back to make sure that both of us had. Don't show up over here with just one bag, one little Happy Meal. Don't do that. You know the kids want the toys on the inside. Don't come over here with that little box. You come over here with one box. Is you crazy?
Right.
Especially when the kids are like around the same age. Like, you can't do that. The kids, you can't come over here with one box of food. And it's not, and that my children are not going to be starving, right?
Right.
But also, it's the toy in the box that the kids want, okay? And I don't want to be in here having to play, the ringmaster at the circus because one person got the toy. They might not play with it tomorrow. They might not think about it in 10 minutes. But what you ain't gonna do is come over here with one Happy Meal and one toy for all three of these kids. You're not gonna do that. Don't do that. Baby, I will give you your $20 back before I let you come over here with one box of food.
So now, are you guys expecting him to provide food for all of them, or would you have preferred,
no,
hey, take your child out and have that time with them?
Okay, exactly.
Yes.
Common sense. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bernard.
All right. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. All right. So it's a lot of females that are like you too. It's a lot of females that be like, look here. Just give him his food and get on about your business. You know what I'm saying? The dynamic of the relationships. Like I said on last episode, man, this thing could be spun and spun and spun and spun. A parent, there's no rule book in the parenthood. There's no rule book. All right. Now we already determined that woman was setting that man up. So let's talk about the setup before we talk about.
I ain't want to go there, Bernard. I was finna gonna, but
I was trying to be nice.
I'm just saying, let's talk about this setup. How many women set men up like that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get down to the real nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like, but on the flip side, it's a lot of men that do women dirty. I know that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we all can go tit for tat, right for wrong, but the situation was a whole setup behind it. You know what I'm saying? Now, unfortunately, it was a black on black couple. You know what I'm saying? Let's get away from all that negativity on black. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of other races that do what they do. You know what I'm saying? But it's a negative staple in that black community that is being portrayed because of that image right now. And we're talking about it. Let's be honest. We're talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's so many relationships. It's so many situationships, that go on that it's not like this. You know what I'm saying? That's one instance that she set that man up. Yeah, it happens on the everyday. We know it. But on the everyday, men get set up in situations like that too.
Ooh.
So can we talk about that a little bit as well? You know what I'm saying? The setups behind it. You know what I mean?
Now, when you say setup, what you mean? Like she?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Tell me.
All
like,
right, okay. So obviously she had multiple kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm a firm believer. I'm gonna do for all the kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat them like they mine regardless. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Other men might not think that same way. I can't control other men, but I can control my side of it. I get offended when a black man is being portrayed as a buster, as somebody that's low down, dirty, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's trying to provide for his kid. You don't know the whole situation. We don't know. We just don't know. But we do know it was a setup. So let's talk about what we do know. The setup. You know what I'm saying? Why did she try to set this man up? Why? Did he treat her wrong in some type of way? Was her feelings hurt? Because we do know the fact.
Do you mean set up on to be like to go viral?
Yeah, to go viral.
Okay.
To gain clout, as a whole bunch of people are trying to do right now.
So
to gain clout.
So Bernard, are you trying to say there's a bigger issue here between men and women, black men and women, like not being united when it comes to
it is. Man, black love is still alive. Black love is still alive, people. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this internet fool y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like all this hatred and stuff like that. It's black love is still alive. It's black men out there that's still taking care of their kids the right way. It's black men and women that still coexisting, that's co-parenting. You know what I'm saying? So this is just a small, minuscule thing that that's got blown up because social media blew it up. You know what I'm saying? The news blow it up.
But that was
people want to hear negative. They want to hear negative stuff. You know what I'm saying? What about all this positive? But the man did provide something for his kid.
He did.
There's I forget what the name of the study is. I can't remember what it is, but I remember reading about how black men are actually like the most active fathers out of the races. You know what I mean? Like there's always those negative stereotypes and tropes and all those types of things that make it seem like Black men are not taking care of their children. Black men are taking care of their children, and they're present in their children's lives very regularly. So,
Yes.
you know, this whole, you know, idea that Black men are trash and not taking care of their kids is not true.
It's an agenda. It's what it is.
For sure. For sure.
But the
All
whole,
right.
but the whole concept of it was we gonna dog this Black man concept. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna say he ain't taking care of all his responsibilities.
But unfortunately, that is the thing, right? And it's usually Black women that are leading the charge, but also it's Black women that are leading the charge to protect Black men, right? So it's just depending on where you come up, what you got in you, what you ain't got in you, right?
Where's the balance?
Or what you have experienced.
Where the balance?
Right. Let's look in the chat. We got some folks commenting in the chat. Terrence says, as a 38-year-old Black man, I don't know any deadbeats. And Era said, all the men in my family, rather marry or not, take care of their children. So I love that. Okay, going back to the earlier question, any dad can be a father, said Charlie. These kids need dads. So many variables on this topic. He also said, here's a tip. If you got 3 kids, buy 3 McDonald's sandwiches and 3 toys from Dollar Tree. You only spend $6. And the mama give you good stuff.
There you
and
go.
The kids don't know no difference.
There you go.
Baby, them kids is ripping into them toys and don't care about nothing.
No, everybody's happy, okay? They're children.
Sound like a happy meal to me.
Okay, Tori, then Thaddeus. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
I think another variable, as far as the young lady was concerned, was she might have felt like, let's just say, because we don't know the dynamics of their relationship and what caused it to end. Like it might have been something that she did. And she might have felt that since he is now no longer a part of the family as a whole, then things go back to the way they were before she met him, where she has to figure out how she's going to take care of these other 3 kids while he just focuses on the one that he made, when he technically doesn't have any obligation to take care of those other 3. It might just be in his nature to take care of all 4 of them because that's what they're used to. But like Bianca said, if he's in a situation to where, you know what, I can't get all 4 of them something this day, then knowing how she's going to react, he should have had a different approach to it. He should have said, you know what, let me just spend time with my child. That way the other 3 aren't wondering, well, why is so-and-so getting to go outside and spend time with their dad when where is mine? Or, you know what, he acted like a dad to us. Why isn't he spending time with us? So like those questions, I think he probably should have thought about ahead of time. But like I said, on her end, she might be looking at, you know what, now I'm going back to the way things were before he came into my life and before this child was born, to where now I have to explain to my kids why not only are they not being involved with their dad, why their sibling has an active father and why they don't, which, you know, for some mothers, that's a hard thing to have to deal with over and over and over and over again.
And
But I think that comes in. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think that that's a part of like the decisions that we make, though, right?
Yes.
Right, and it is hard, right? Those are hard conversations. And as a person who has a child who doesn't know that my husband is not her father, right? And I'm waiting to have that conversation with her till she's emotionally mature enough to handle that. That's hard, right? But also, again, it comes with the responsibility and the decisions that we choose to make in terms of having children with people. That's right. And even though, and being honest with yourself, that just because you marry somebody and have kids, or just because they tell you that they're gonna love you forever and they marry you, that don't guarantee that nobody's gonna stay anywhere. Right. Exactly. And at the end of the day, you still have to be prepared as their mother or their father, you know, in that single parent position, to have those tough conversations with your kids. And honestly, sometimes you'll find that having those tough conversations with your children is actually you having that tough conversation with your inner child that's wounded and was hurt in the situation.
You
Right.
go,
So then
girl.
you can find your own healing in conversing with your children about, the decisions that you made, and maybe not even going that deep if they're younger, you know what I'm saying? But you have, like, being able to provide them with some sort of sense of security or understanding about what is happening to them. So even if you got to stop and read you a book or listen to somebody that's going to help you to figure out how to, like, cultivate this space for them where they don't have to feel like they're missing something, but when they are missing something, being honest with them and talking to them about that.
Ooh,
Yes.
oh
Yeah.
my
I
gosh. All
completely
right,
agree with
Adina.
that.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true.
My
Yep.
God.
It brings me back to my point where
That's what I'm talking about.
we have to choose correctly. We have
Yeah.
to choose correctly. We have to think about our choices and how they affect the other people that are in our lives, especially the ones who didn't ask to be here.
That's
So
right.
That's true.
you really need to think about that and have a conversation, like Adina said, with your children about what the dynamic of your household is going to be moving forward. They need to know. And children are very receptive when you speak to them in a language that they understand for their age level.
Truth.
Ooh, oh
Truth.
my gosh.
And let me
Yes.
tell you
Truth.
something, these new
Truth
kids,
speaks at every age level.
That's
Every
right.
every age level. Every age.
Ooh,
and these new kids, let me tell you something, they coming
They're
out strong, baby,
advanced.
so they
They're
get it.
advanced.
Yeah.
They are
They get it.
advanced.
They
yes.
get it.
Yes.
Oh, so I'm loving it. Again, the whole discussion about communication. So not only communicating with your potential partner on what you see the role as a stepfather, but also with the children, having those conversations. I love it. Communication, if you get that from this, having those tough talks, okay?
Yeah.
So I love it. Before we move on, let me check the chat real quick. Thaddeus, did you have anything to add before we moved on to the kind of the next topic here? So RH3 show said honesty. Terrence said preach, Sister Adina. All right, so everybody's kind of backing y'all up in the chat. Thaddeus, what you got to say before we move on to our next thing here? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute. I'm sorry, you're on mute.
Oh, that just strengthens my point where I was saying that, if you get involved with a young lady and she has kids, it brings some sort of complexity. It adds some sort of complexity to the relationship. For instance, if she didn't have any kids, this is not an issue. It wouldn't have come up. Secondly, the second thing is that video is actually staged. They came out and they said
Oh,
they
yeah.
actually staged it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Third of
obviously.
all, I do understand how both parties feel. For the young lady, if she has 4 kids and multiple different baby daddies, the kids are hers. They are hers, so she's going to view them as such. So it's going to hurt her heart if one has and the other one doesn't, because they are all her children. Now, on the father's side, just that one child is his. So I mean, he doesn't really care anything about the others. So it's like it's the argument is, well, hey, it's just McDonald's. I mean, you could have, what's $10 extra to buy the other kids. But to me, it's like the principle of it. So let's say if I want to bring my kid a Wagyu steak, my kids, he likes Wagyu steaks. Those steaks are $150 a pop. So because I brought my kid Wagyu steak, I have to buy Wagyu steak for all the rest of your kids, or should I buy my kid
No.
Wagyu steak and then buy your kids hot dogs?
Better cut it up.
You know, that just brings a whole bunch of complexity in it, and I could see both sides, and I also see the side where you just don't have to deal with it at all.
Oh gosh, Thaddeus. Did we mention that Thaddeus was single? I don't know if y'all caught that, but for all y'all on the line, he's single. Say
All
hi,
y'all with no kids. All y'all with no
Everybody
kids.
that has no kids.
No kids only. Okay.
Listen, yeah.
Stay
So
calm.
thank you. But listen, so that was my issue with her too, was the entitlement. I don't think she should have felt that he had to, and she kept throwing the stamps in his face. I don't get stamps till this day. It's like, okay, what does feeding your other kids have to do with me? But no, I thank you all for your comments on this. So we're gonna move along. We're almost done here. We're gonna talk about discipline now. Y'all on the chat and everybody on this line, what do you guys think about the stepfather disciplining the kids? We spoke about on our episode, the woman actually relinquishing that to the stepfather, but what about physical discipline? Maybe like in Adina's situation, I don't know if how old was your child when your husband stepped in? How old?
She was 17 months.
Okay, so that's the thing, because I gave a similar example. So someone came in at that very same age, about 60 months, and he took on the total role. So physical discipline, any kind of discipline, he was the father because the father was not there. So you guys on the chat here and everyone at home who's watching, let us know, do you think it's okay for a stepfather to discipline the kids, either physically or otherwise? Does age play a role in it? What do you guys think? I'm gonna let the ladies start because we kind of heard from the men on the episode. So Bianca, we're gonna start with you. Tell me what you think.
Okay, so this is another very sensitive portion of this. So I feel like if it's a situation where the biological father is not around, has never been around, and they're either in a very serious relationship where they live together or they're married, then yes, he should have full autonomy over that situation in his house, his household. However, if it's a situation where the biological father is active, like I said, all three parties need to come together and set those boundaries as far as what they're going to be comfortable with, what they're not going to be comfortable with, because I'm sure most biological fathers aren't even going to want to think about another man putting their hands on their children. And that might not be a part of the discussion at all. In my situation, it was a little different. My children were well behaved. That never even came up. It was never even a topic. But yeah, in that situation, that's a conversation that we would have had to discuss those boundaries. But yeah, no.
So with Bianca, it does depend. So like you said, if the father is present or not, maybe the stepfather could have more of a role if the father isn't in the picture. Okay. How about you? Well, Adina, I know you said when we first started, nobody touching your children. Adina, tell me.
Well, the approach that we take with our children is we talk to them like humans, and my kids are 8, 5, and 3. You know what I mean? We don't hit them. That's a path that we chose not to take in disciplining our children. So, moving forward, I would hope that both of us will be looking for, mates that think the same way in terms of parenting. I know I'm not looking for no man to come in my house and start yelling at my girls, because for one, they gonna bark back. That's gonna be number one. That's gonna be number one. My children are very much so strong-willed, huge personalities. I don't have to do this because this is not something that I do. And they don't push back towards my husband and I, but other people that they don't, deal with on a regular basis, they'll tell them like, no, I don't want to do that. And that's okay for me because I have girls and the world is a mess and they're going to need those muscles later. So if I have to have, side conversations with them about how to like kind of tone it down and kind of, mellow it out when necessary, but also know that they have full autonomy of themselves and they get to tell people what, I don't want you to touch me. I don't want to hug you. I don't want to do that's okay.
Ooh,
that is
so
okay.
That's the thing. Yeah, Adina, I like what you're saying because, and you got to again have those conversations up front. You meet somebody, y'all got kids, talk to the person, say, hey, look, this is what I see as the disciplining style. Are you okay with that? And if it doesn't match up, then you need to move on. So, Adina, very good point. Let me get some in the chat before I move on. Charlie said, if a woman has multiple kids by multiple men, she's going to struggle with finding a man to take her serious. Ooh, y'all guys, I want to hear from y'all. Before we start on that, Amir said, if the stepfather is able to buy things, babysit, play daddy for all the good things, he needs to also be able to discipline. So we got Amir with another thought, and I think Thaddeus kind of mentioned that on one of our episodes too, right, Thaddeus?
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to do all those other things, why can I discipline?
Yeah, and that's why what I also meant about having autonomy in your own house. If that is that man's house, he's paying the bills in that house, he's taking care of everybody in the house, then he should have some level of a say-so of what happens in the house. And if you have children that some level.
So I'm paying all the bills and I have levels. So there's at some point you're gonna be like, no, you can't go there.
Well, you can't abuse the children, so yes.
I mean, that should go without saying though.
It should, but it doesn't
but
in
it
all
doesn't.
cases. But it should, yes.
So
but that's what I mean.
But we got to be realistic and when we, I'm not talking about abusing kids. I'm not talking about hitting your son over the head. Like I'm not talking about that. But
Right.
however, there should be no level that I am held to. Well, you can't do this, but you can't do that, and you can't. Oh, but you come to me, honey. I didn't like how you raised your voice on my child. Yeah, like nah.
So she can't tell you nothing.
Like I said, it depends on the interaction.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like so you have all the burden of the to provide, but like none of the authority. I mean, I
agree with you. I agree with you.
Well, honey, you're providing too much for my kids. We took them to Disney World, and then we took them here, and you're paying for their college. Oh no, honey, that's too much. Like she doesn't say that. So then, when your kid comes home late from something, I'm like, yo, you disrespecting my house. Like I told you, come home at 11. It's like, honey, you can't talk.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
No,
of course you have a right to say that. Right? Yes,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about a situation where it gets out of hand and the child is harmed in this situation. But of course, yes, all of that.
That's the extreme. We're not going all the way to the extreme.
Okay.
Like I said, and that would go for even if it was his children. I mean, if it's your children, I mean, I wouldn't abuse. I'm not a abusive person. I'm not going to abuse your children. I'm not going to abuse mine. But the thing is, like, I'm not going to sit back and take any, levels of discipline in children either.
Yeah, I wouldn't allow any disrespect to come from my children at all on their end. And in that situation, I would expect you to treat my children the same way you would treat your own. So whatever that level is for you, that's the level I'm speaking of.
Okay. Woo, Bernard's finger about to fall off.
All right. Let's get to it. All right. So discipline ain't just physical. You get mental abuse, you get physical abuse, and you get
emotional
abuse.
Emotional, financial, spiritual.
So it's all different types of levels, right? So once again, communication is the key. Ladies, gentlemen, know your partner. You know what I'm saying? Know your partner. If you move in with a man, know his aggression. He might not beat your child, but he might cuss your child out. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna cuss him out. Praise God.
You know what I'm saying? But that's a level of abuse. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna cause a conflict. Mm-hmm. He might not cuss your child out, but he might starve the hell out your child. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But know your partners, both male and female. Know your partners. Communicate this stuff up front. You know what I'm saying? Actually get to know them. Don't rush into nothing. You know what I'm saying? 1-2 months and moving in with somebody, man, you don't know that. You don't know that person.
That's scary.
Not with no churn, you better not.
Scary.
Absolutely not.
Tori. Yes. Tori, tell me. Tell me.
In the getting to know your partner, I think what goes overlooked as adults is that we don't take the time to divulge into what was your childhood like. Like how were you disciplined, and what effect emotionally did that have on you going forward in the way that you discipline your kids or your partner's children?
Somebody get
because
the air
if it has a damaging effect on you, then are you sure that you don't want to pass down that same emotional trauma from the generation that you grew up in to a generation that you're trying to help mold?
Thank you,
All
Lord.
these things
Thank
to
you.
think about. Let's look at the chat. Y'all bringing up some good points here. Okay, so Amber says, I saw this backfire firsthand. The kids lose respect for their parent that can't fully discipline and will use it to their advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they will definitely do that.
Terrence said, in my house, my kids, bonus or not, know my rules and respect me and not whooping No one, but as a man, I can discipline them without putting my hands on them. So that's what Tara says. Ooh, Charlie said discipline should be discussed early on. Y'all ladies can't have these kids out here popping off at the mouth.
No, and being disrespectful to adults.
And don't expect men to do anything. He agrees with Thaddeus about discipline. Terrence said, hey, B, you preaching. All right. Okay, Pearl said hey to Adina. So
Hey,
listen, all these conversations to have. I mean, it's a lot of viewpoints, but it's really important. But do y'all think women, because I think women, as you know, being a woman and knowing a lot of single moms, I think they are sensitive when it comes to criticism regarding how they're parenting. So what do you ladies, what would you ladies to say to women who do have kids and they want a man in their life about, you know, being open to criticism, being open to someone kind of helping them with their discipline style? Do y'all find that ladies have an issue with
Yes, they definitely do. And my resolution to that is you need to choose somebody that you trust. Yeah. Choose somebody that you feel safe with. Choose somebody that can lead you. If you're not choosing that person, then they're not going to be able to let you know what's right and what's wrong in your parenting situation. How can they do that if they can't lead you? So you need to be very careful about who you're choosing to bring into you and your children's lives. That's very, very important. And have the talks with them. Don't be afraid to ask questions from the very beginning. Don't be afraid to reveal your children and your current dynamic and allow them to know how you're currently raising them, what your current situation is, whether their father is there actively or non-actively. You need to speak to them and let them know. And you need to make sure that you're bringing the correct person into you and your children's lives. Ooh. And then that won't be as much of a question. And you won't be offended when that man that you chose to come and lead you lets you know when you're doing something wrong.
That's right. Oh, I said the same thing in the episode, somewhat the same. Again, trust the man's authority. Like, you need to be with a guy that you can trust, like you said, to lead you. So women out there, guys don't want to come in and y'all can't hear nothing about how y'all raising y'all kids. Please, if you want a man to be there in your life, to be a partner, be open to this man to help you out. Oh, Bernard, oh no, Adina and then Bernard. Tell me, Adina.
I just wanted to add also, y'all get some therapy, okay?
Please.
Y'all go sit down and y'all go pay somebody, or y'all reach out to your county and find out about mental health services to get yourself some help. If you don't have the money to do that, find you a therapist on a sliding scale. If all you got is $20 every week, find you somebody that helps you, okay? Help you identify your inner child problems. I'm telling you, because the problem with a lot of people is their inner child is running buck wild and mad because they didn't get the love and the care and all of the things that they felt like they wanted when they were children. And they're teaching their children to live in that same agony, pain, and misery because they are not taking care of themselves. I listened to this podcast yesterday and this woman said something that was so like mind-boggling to me. She said, I'm tired of hearing women say that they're taking care of everybody else around them and not taking care of themselves, but they did good by everybody else. That's not true, because you cannot pour from an empty vessel and think that you're giving somebody something of substance. So you're doing the same things with your kids. When you're not taking care of yourself, you're not aware of who you are and what you got going on and what you ain't got going on. And you're just out here. You know, you're hurt at man after man after man after man. You're hurt, you're damaged, your dad wasn't there. So now you're piling all this stuff on and taking it on and wearing it like a badge of honor when you need to go somewhere, sit down, strip down, talk to somebody, get that stuff reworked so you can really be given from a place where you can mother, where you can be a wife. Amen. You don't have to be out here trying to be. You can be, right? All of the things that you want to be for your children, and also that will put you in a position to get you a mate that wants to help you take care of your children. And you have to be in a space where you want to better your parents. And also, right, if you're out here bettering the way that you do parent your children, and knowing that your children are human beings. They're not robots, they're not dogs, they're not cats. They are people. Just like you want to be talked to like you're somebody, your children do also. And if a man is going to come and help you, he has to be able to acknowledge the same in you and in your children as well.
Ooh! Okay, that was the benefit. We're gonna close down now. I'm gonna just shut the episode. I'm gonna
Some help. Shoot, I'm tired of people.
let's just wrap it up and
Right. Get some therapy.
Hey, I say
Somebody
amen.
other than your pastor.
Amen.
woo,
Thank you.
That
A
part.
professional. Thank you.
Amen.
That part. Thank you.
All right. So this is my take on it. I agree totally with you. Old fools used to be young fools. You know what I'm saying?
And still foolish. Praise God.
So grandmama them, mother them, your elder cousins them, all was on something. Listen. Sometimes you just gotta listen before you react. Take time to pause for yourself a little bit. Analyze the situation. Just listen. Pause. The Bible says, peace be still, right? Peace be still. You ain't gotta move nowhere. Everything is right in front of you.
woo. I see y'all
Open
shaking
your
your head.
eyes. Open your mind. Open your heart. Open your soul. It's right there. It's right there in front of you.
So Terrence is agreeing therapy is needed. Everyone should be in one accord, says T. Listen, Tori and Thaddeus, I saw y'all kind of shaking y'all head and stuff. What y'all got to add? Woo! You're on fire. Tell me. Tori and then Thaddeus.
What I would add is when it comes to your grandparents or your great grandparents and your great aunties and things of that nature, you have to realize that they did the best with what they had.
Exactly.
And just because what they did back then, seemed like it worked, doesn't necessarily mean that it actually did. So when you sit in therapy, you do have to take the time to unravel, to go back, to have that conversation with that 8th grade version of yourself, or the 11th grade version, or the version that was always left at home and didn't have an outlet to talk to anybody, because you have to deal with that person and then let that person catch up to who you are now. And by doing so, all of your standards change. So all of the things that you've been dealing with, choosing the wrong man, choosing the wrong relationship, choosing the wrong job, once you deal with the root of the issue, your standards change. So that way, when you see what used to please you before coming your way, you have no interest in it, because now your standards have changed, and what used to please you before can't reach you at the new level that you're at.
That's right.
That
All right
pause
now.
button. That pause button. Woo.
Woo. Love it, y'all. Woo. Thaddeus, what you got to say?
And I just say, before you build a house, make sure you count the cost. That's my closing thought. Going after women with children or a man with children, it will bring some sort of complexity. So just understand what that is. Sometimes the benefits outweigh the additional stress or the additional, I don't like to use negative terms like baggage, but the additional people, right, that you're gonna have to bring into your life. Sometimes the benefits. I know some lovely young ladies that are, they have like a kid or two, and they're amazing people, and I'm sure somebody would would gladly overlook the fact that they have kids and marry them and would be very, very happy with them. But they just have to understand what those additional, what those additional children bring into the picture. So once you understand that, and if you're okay with it, and both of you guys understand, and you have, sit down and really discuss, like I said, count the cost, really sit down and discuss, the kids and who's in whose life, and what does this mean, and the discipline, and what levels can you get to disciplining your children, and everyone's okay with that, then feel free to proceed.
Oh, okay, Thaddeus. Thank you for your closing remarks. And it's good to hear from a single man's perspective, right? We're not going to We're not gonna kill him in the chat because he's just being honest. But listen, before we do everyone else's kind of final thoughts, you guys who are listening, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, tell somebody about this channel, subscribe. Let us know if you're interested in being on the show. And thank you so much for being with us tonight. Okay, I'm gonna read the final comments that I see in here. And if you guys have any tips for single moms, stepfathers, the whole role of being a stepfather, you guys can put it in the chat for us now. T says, I agree with that. There should be no level. If we are one, there should be nothing else. So he says, that's the only thing I agree with that is. The only thing I agree with him on. And T also said, you have to communicate and understand each other. If you are one, there should be no disagreement. Sometimes women and men get upset when the partner is correct and their children are wrong. So that whole communication piece. Okay, so everyone else here on the chat, if you guys want to say your final words before we log out, anything about the role of stepfather, anything about the discussion. I'm gonna go from Bernard, Adina, Tori, Thaddeus, and then Bianca. Go ahead, Bernard.
All right, my final comment is about truth. Truth has its way of unraveling itself, whether you agree or disagree. Sometimes if you disagree and you ain't looking deep enough inside of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to really understand self. Be truth with self. Be truthful with yourself. Don't let nobody encourage you, discourage you. Be honest with yourself about things. Be honest about your kids. Be honest to your kids. Your kids are going to be way more receptive when you are 100% honest with them. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to know about their history. Them kids want to know how you grew up. Tell them. Did you agree? Did you disagree? Why are you disciplining me in this way? Why are you putting me in this situation? Be honest. Communication. I say this on every episode, man. Communication is the key to everything. But the number one thing about communication is being truthful. I mean, that's it.
Ooh, all right. Thank you so much, Bernard. Again, the communication piece, being truthful. Bernard, where can they find you at again? Tell everybody, anybody who wants a shout out, where can they find you, Bernard?
Facebook, Bernard Carter. Instagram, 3bj.carter3.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you, Bernard. Okay, Adina, any final words for us?
Y'all take care of yourselves. Be good to yourself. Be good to your kids. Worry about them kids and worry about yourself before you start worrying about somebody else.
Okay.
Take care of yourself. Like, take care of where you need to be, what you got going on, what you want to have, your dreams, your desires, the things you want to chase. And as long as you're walking in that path of what is true and honest and good for you, you will run into all of the things, spouse, knows whatever it is that you want, you'll run into those things. But take care of yourselves. Find yourself some therapy, some licensed therapy. There's websites that are incredible. If you need, any kind of therapist you want. I love having me a Black woman therapist because, but find you some resources. A lot of counties have money for mental health counseling and centers and different things. Take care of your mental health. I cannot say it enough. Please take care of yourselves and be kind to you, and put your babies in some counseling too. Amen. Get them trained in some counseling. Because these kids, listen, birthing is trauma, and you come into some life situations and it's just trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma, and then babies don't get no break. They don't get no break. Okay? Help your children, help yourself. Everybody be wonderful to yourself, please.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, Adina, did you want to leave any of your social media or anything on there, or you good?
Sure. So y'all know this, but my first baby daddy was a little bit of a stalker. So my Instagram page is private, right? But you can reach me there at Lady Adina 610. That is my Instagram page. You can definitely reach me there. I'm always there scrolling and posting something funny. So
okay, thank you so much for joining us. I know this was your first time. Loved having you. Okay, Tori, tell me any final words and let us know where they can find you at.
My final words would be, if you want to change the pattern that your family has always dealt with, as far as parental style, as far as relationships, as far as life, period. Do the necessary work. Do the work. Have communication with not only the members of your family, have that communication with yourself. To be honest, to be willing to accept the things that weren't right and be willing to change them, not only for yourself, but for everybody that comes behind you. So to find me, I'm on Instagram, Mr. CEO status 0913. That's where you'll find me posting and reposting and things of that nature. And that's all I got.
Oh, thank you, Tori. Tori said, do the work, do the work. Thaddeus. Any fun?
No, I said what I needed to say.
Oh yeah, you did.
And don't find me on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you very much. I'm good.
Thaddeus said, don't look for me. Don't come for me. Bianca. Bianca, I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. No, just like I said before, just choose wisely, please, and heal yourself before you do. There's nobody's perfect, and there is no blueprint to this or anything like that. Well, there kind of is, but that's if that's what you practice. But there is one. But really, you should just honor yourself, honor your children. And if you're going to come into someone's life where you know they have children, then make sure you can handle all aspects of that. If not, don't waste their time.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
Oh, and as for social media, everything is private except TikTok. Okay. So it's Miss Bumblebee 80.
Okay, perfect. Ooh, so good having y'all on. So much words of wisdom on the line today. I want to thank all of you so much for joining, and y'all at home, thank you for engaging in the chat. I appreciate all of you. Don't forget again to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on My Comfy Couch.